Thank you everyone for taking time out and coming over for this press briefing. I'm Kunal Kashyap, Executive Director, TIE Bangalore. I'd like to welcome you all to this press interaction. We have with us today Arvind Polak, who's the Public Advisory Officer from US Consulate Chennai. We've got Naganan Doraswamy, who's the TIE Bangalore President, and Madan Padiki, who's the CEO of Head Held High, as well as governing body member of TIE Bangalore. I think it would be good if you could all just quickly give a round of introduction for your name and media, which media you represent, and then accordingly we will ask one of them to start. So I guess we can start from you.
Makshat with Indian Express.
Hi, Akshay.
Tapasya from Bangalore.
Devani.
Ranjit from Prajavani.
Okay.
Omkar from Prajaya.
Okay.
Naveen from Suvarna.
Aditya from the Hindu News.
Great.
Akram from Udayavani.
Udayavani. Okay. Great. So we are expecting 2-3 more of the media folks to come. I think when they join in, we will welcome them. Ariel, I think it's fair enough that you should start. This is a program which has been started by US Consulate Chennai, and it's fair enough that you should only get started with proceedings today. Just give a brief overview of the program, and then we will follow it up with a quick overview by TIE, President Naganan, and an overview by me.
Well, I'd like to echo Kunal's thanks to you for coming this evening. This evening marks the closing of a 2-day summit, but also about 6 months of work, of which I honestly have not been a part of because I just arrived 2 months ago in country. But I've seen all of the hard work pay off over the last 2 days. So we're here to talk about the South Asian Young Entrepreneurs Summit, which is an effort initiated by the U.S. Consulate General Chennai, together with TIE, to bring together young entrepreneurs from across South Asia. And so we have 25 young entrepreneurs who are here from India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, the Maldives, and Sri Lanka. And the goal of this summit is to bring them together, to share best practices, to learn from one another, to take advantage of the incredible ecosystem for entrepreneurs that's here in Bangalore, and ultimately to foster greater economic connectivity in the region. And that's what we've done over the last 2 days. And I think I'll turn it over to my colleagues from TIE to talk a little bit more about the program, how it came to be, and some of the specific things that the entrepreneurs have taken part in yesterday and today.
So I'll give a quick brief overview of TIE Bangalore and why we wanted to do this, and then hand it over to Madan to talk specifically about the program and what we wanted to achieve in the program. So TIE Bangalore, as you know, TIE is an international organization, and it's an entrepreneurial organization, stands for the Indus Entrepreneurs. And there are multiple chapters across the world. We are about 60 plus chapters across the world, and TIE Bangalore is one of the larger ones. And our motto is fostering entrepreneurship. So we are a not-for-profit organization, and we basically work with entrepreneurs to help them in all facets of entrepreneurship, whether it's early stage or mid stage. The idea is to help them with their education with respect to entrepreneurship, where we have a lot of workshops that we call TIE, that we run in TIE, called TIE workshops. And we have a TIE institute to run these workshops, and then networking, where we run a lot of events where they can come together. And then most importantly, mentoring, where we have a platform for mentoring, which is done by very established entrepreneurs or people in the ecosystem who are capable of adding value to the journey of an entrepreneur, right? So these are all charter members, and these are people who are giving their time for free. So any member can avail of this entrepreneur acceleration program and benefit from it. And as you know, Redbuzz was one of the outcome of our EAP, and that's what we do. So we have what all the programs, the entire focus is towards fostering entrepreneurship. And when we got this request from the US Consulate in Chennai that they were looking at bringing entrepreneurs from across all various South Asian countries, it was very well within our charter, although we typically focus on entrepreneurs in Bangalore, but this definitely gave us an opportunity to bring entrepreneurs from across the SAARC countries and give them exposure to what's actually happening in Bangalore and also in India. and also more importantly give them the opportunity to talk to some of our charter members and kind of help them dream bigger. So that's how we put this together, and I think the outcome has been fantastic. If you talk to some of them, I would encourage you to talk to some of them and get their perspective. But it's come out really well, and I'll let Madan talk more about the program specific, how we put it together, and the places, more importantly, the places where we conducted these events. I think they were floored by many of the places we took them to. So I'll let Madan talk about that.
Thank you, Navan. Thank you, Adil. Again, thanks for being here. Madan Padki, I'm on the board of Governing Council of TIE Bangalore, and I was anchoring this program on behalf of the governing body along with Kunal and team from TIE Bangalore Secretariat. As Nayanand was saying, when we got this, when we had the first conversation with the US consulate in Chennai, we were very excited because I think this is the first time ever that entrepreneurs from South Asian countries are coming together and spending 2 days in one of the most entrepreneurial cities in the world, which is Bangalore. So obviously, when the US consulate folks were looking at the venue, and we were saying that, hey, it is but obvious that you got to do it in Bangalore, that which is the entrepreneurial, the startup capital of the world, and that's how it began. And we said, let's create an experience. It's an inspirational learning experience for all the entrepreneurs to come not only to experience the buzz that's in Bangalore, but also to learn from one another. In the course of the journey, we were also very fortunate to get a wonderful set of partners for this program. We had Infosys that we reached out to, who graciously said, hey, we'll host them at Infosys. So yesterday, they spent the whole day at the Infosys boardroom, where we had the whole session in the imposing, inspiring boardroom. And they spent a day at a campus looking at the marvels of a company that just started out with one red brick building and to grow to such a large campus, such a large organization. So we had Infosys as a partner. We reached out to IIM Bangalore, the NSR cell, and they were very enthusiastic as well, saying that, hey, one of our charters is to look at how do we grow entrepreneurial thinking in the community, and we'll be very happy to partner. So NSR cell at IIM Bangalore came on as a partner. We spoke about this program to the government of Karnataka, to the Department of Industries and Commerce, saying that this is a great opportunity for us to showcase Karnataka's initiative for entrepreneurial development to would-be entrepreneurs. I think as it's all in the papers today that Mr. Son was saying, the next Google or a next Facebook can probably come out of an ecosystem like this. So the department chipped in and said, we are happy to support you. And it's great to have the support of the Department of Industries as a sponsor. Hotbreads, the founder of Hotbreads really liked this idea, and he came on board to say that we'll support this program as well. We had Jet Airways as our airlines partner because we were flying in all of these folks from across the region, and we picked up the cost. So the cost of getting the entrepreneurs in, their hospitality, all of it is covered by us. Right? So Jet Airways has been a wonderful partner. And that's how we put this thing together. Free Thinkers is one of the entrepreneurs who actually helped us design this whole thing and supported this program as well. So it's a great coming together of academia, government, of two governments actually, of the US consulate as well as the Department of Industries, an entrepreneurial ecosystem like TIE, and a fantastic entrepreneurial success story in India, which is Infosys. And the last 2 days have been phenomenal. We started out yesterday with a full day session at Infosys campus, where we had sessions on finance, on marketing, on startup cultures, how to scale. We had Dr. Narayanan, who was the former advisor to the Prime Minister, to come and talk about how to do business with governments, how do you scale in a regulatory environment. So we had sessions through the day. We also had a session on how to raise capital by one of the venture investors here. In the evening, we wanted to give them a glimpse of the buzz of Bangalore, so we actually had an evening session at Puma Social Club, where they all interacted with angel investors over drinks and cocktails and dinner. And I believe that the session went on till 11:45. Unfortunately, it was not a weekend, otherwise we could have gone on for much longer. And this morning we started out with a session at IIM Bangalore's NSR cell, where we put together not only our 25 entrepreneurs from these countries, but NSR cell incubatees. We had 12 of them, and we had 12 students from the PGP batch of IIM Bangalore who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. So we put them all together, and we had an interesting format of roundtables where they all sat in. So every table had one student, one NSR cell incubatee, and 2 different country entrepreneurs, all sharing their experiences of what it is to be an entrepreneur. So there was a lot of peer learning as well, and that went on till the afternoon. And in the late afternoon, we gave them a tour of the city in some sense. As you drive from Bangalore to here, we took a circuitous route and showed them all the various parts of Bangalore. Most of them are going back early morning, so we didn't want them to just go back without seeing what Bangalore is, and in the less crowded hours of the afternoon. And we are here now as a culmination of the 2-day event, just to give them, get them to network. We have also invited our charter members to attend this evening session. We have the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce folks coming in and participating as well. So the idea was just to have an evening of, again, a broader networking theme. We'll also have some officials from the government of Karnataka's Department of Industries joining us this evening. So that's the broad overview, and as Naganand was saying, this is the first of its kind, and this is the first, I believe this is just the beginning. We've been having a lot of conversations with the folks from US Consulate as well as the Department of Industries, saying that it's a great way to foster regional cooperation by bringing entrepreneurs together. And what better way when 2 entrepreneurs decide that, hey, I'm going to work in your country and you work in mine. I think that builds bridges much better, and that's great for all of us, because that creates entrepreneurs, creates wealth, and brings the region closer. So I sure wouldn't be remiss to say that this is just the beginning, and we'll see how this pans out. So that's the...
And I'll just close our remarks. I want to echo something that Madan said, that this really does illustrate one of the elements of the vast partnership, a very broad partnership between the United States and India. Our 2 prime ministers, your prime minister rather, the Indian prime minister, Prime Minister Modi, and President Obama met in Washington just earlier this month. And they spoke in many ways about how the U.S. Can help Prime Minister Modi to make real his vision for India. But it also, this is also really illustrative of how much the U.S. supports entrepreneurship around the globe. President Obama has recently, for the first time, set up a group of presidential ambassadors for global entrepreneurship. There are 11 individuals, some of the brightest and best innovative minds in the U.S., who are coming together to share their networks and their expertise to help foster entrepreneurial culture around the globe, as well as in the U.S. So that's one initiative. And next month, the President will host the 5th Annual Global Entrepreneurship Summit this year in Marrakesh, Morocco, which will bring together over 3,000 global entrepreneurs to talk about how they can harness the power of technology to help to meet some of the challenges of the 21st century. So the Say Yes program is just another example of how the U.S. is working to promote that global entrepreneurship spirit around the world, and a definitely specific example of how the U.S. and India are working together for greater economic development in the region and specifically in India as well.
Happy to take any questions, and I'm sure we'll have some of our entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can complete them just to share their experiences.
Yeah, please go ahead.
How are the entrepreneurs chosen?
The entrepreneurs were chosen by each American embassy or consulate. We have representatives or entrepreneurs from India, all across India. So our embassy in New Delhi, as well as our consulates in Hyderabad, in Kolkata, in Mumbai, and of course here in Chennai, nominated entrepreneurs that we have worked with. And then our embassies in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, and in Bangladesh also nominated entrepreneurs. Our embassy in Sri Lanka covers the Maldives, so they did the nomination for the Maldives, and our embassy in New Delhi covers Bhutan, and so the nominations for Bhutan came from there.
What was the total feedback?
Feedback from
From the
the entrepreneurs. We'll let you ask them when they come in.
The only country missing in this list from the South Asian region is Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Why was it?
Well, I was not part of the nominations process, but we did submit a very wide list to all of our partner countries in the region, all of our embassies, and so we were only able to offer spots to those that sent us nominations.
In terms of the feedback, I think
We have the
what
feedback.
we have is very good, but if you talk to them, you really get the, because we'll say it in our language, and it's
Yeah.
much better you hear it straight from them in their language. But they seem to have had a great time, and they said they've learned a lot. And more importantly, they thought sitting in the Infosys boardroom that they can also dream big.
Absolutely.
So that overall, we have gotten very good inputs from them, and we would like you to also cross-check that.
And we're happy to take any additional questions for
Yeah,
us while
we'll
we're
just
waiting
check
for
if
them to
they're
come.
around.
Yeah, we should
But
call
I
them.
think they're the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I was there at IIM Bangalore today, and it was also very interesting that the entrepreneurs locally were saying this is the first time that we are interacting with people from Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, etc. And they were saying it's very interesting to see perspectives in the region. So I think one of the other benefits that we were looking for is that, if you have an entrepreneur in Bangalore, how does he just not look at India as a market, but if you were to just expand out and say, how do you look at the region itself as a larger market for your services? And I think that was the objective that we brought them together with our Bangalore-based entrepreneurs this morning. And it was very interesting to see the conversations and the interactions that were happening.
Hi, come.
Yeah, why don't you just, we'll put the chairs.
I'm getting
Yes.
How was this
Back to
whole
my
experience?
Should we wait for the other two?
No, you can start.
Just get started.
They'll come and they'll chime in.
Should I start?
Yeah, please.
I was just saying, we were just sharing the entire
Please
experience.
include
If you
me.
can just, give your name, where you're from,
And
and
tell your name and where.
yeah, what business do you, what is your venture?
My name is Pema Chodan Tenzin. I'm from Bhutan. I own a small design and publishing company. I'm the creator and chief editor, CEO of Bhutan's first women's magazine. And just last year we got a contract to publish the in-flight magazine for Bhutan Airlines. What I do is something that's quite new in Bhutan. Entrepreneurship is quite a new thing. You have businesses, you have people in retail, but young people doing things on their own is quite new in Bhutan. And I was just saying earlier that having that same communication level and the kind of similarities that we shared during the conference was something that was missing back home. And a lot of people, not just out there, but people I didn't know, but also people in my family didn't understand what I was doing. And in Bhutan, you're expected to work for the government, and everybody wants to sit for the Royal Civil Service Commission examinations. But then doing something on your own, trying to find funding, trying to get capital to start off your own business is something quite new among Bhutanese youth. And now a lot of people are getting into it, but still when it comes to mentoring and getting inspired is something that's missing in the country. And a lot of us have been quite lost when it comes to getting the right information, getting guidance in entrepreneurship. And the CAS program has been very helpful. I've met a lot of people who speak the same language when it comes to entrepreneurship, and it's been a great privilege. From the kind of sessions that have been conducted from finance, that is completely new to me. I come from a literature background. It's been very, very beneficial. So I'm very thankful to CAS. Very thankful.
This is the first time you are coming to
Yes,
Bangalore?
First time to Bangalore, but not the first time to India. I've been to Delhi and Kolkata before, and a lot of my printing is done in Kolkata.
So they are telling that you visited the Infosys and IIMB. What was that time?
Oh my god, I just fell in love with the campus. I'm really going to miss bicycling at night around the campus.
The Infosys campus,
Oh
yeah.
my god, we've been going in groups, so it was beautiful. It was really nice.
Tell me, entrepreneurship is not new to India. So what are the lessons that you picked up from your trip to India, especially to Bangalore, visiting all these companies? What are those 5 lessons that you've learned that you would like to include back home in your business?
5 lessons?
5 or 3?
5 or 3, okay. First thing, like I mentioned earlier, financing. Understanding the financial health of your company, understanding how important it is. Because what happens is most entrepreneurs, what they do is they leave everything to their accountants and they're just, okay, I'm just here for the business. And when it comes to accounting and the whole financial thing, we're too overwhelmed by that. So understanding that, and of course we didn't really get a deep, no time for a really intensive course. But understanding the value of financial, health of a company, I think that was very crucial. For me, that was number 1. So now I'm going to go back home and really start working on the numbers. So I think that was really important for me personally.
So we have a few more delegates that have joined us.
Come inside.
Oh, how many do we have?
2 more. No, we can just start,
Yeah.
Maybe we can just start off with you. So just sharing experience.
All right, okay.
So
So
you can
Your
just start.
name and
Yeah.
where you're from and what you've
yeah,
been
sure.
to.
I'll just can you hold on, please? My name is Ahmad and I'm coming from Sri Lanka. Up until yesterday, I never called myself an entrepreneur. I am and I always will be a football coach. That's the start of my journey. So I'm here because they thought the business that I'm running back home is good enough to bring me here. I'm running a football academy. Basically, we provide a service in a cricket-loving nation where everybody likes to play cricket. But I was the joker who decided I'm going to sell football instead. But that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm doing. So it's been about 5 years now since I've been coaching. And now we started with just 5 kids. I just put out a notice saying, listen, I'm a football coach. If anybody wants to learn football, show up at this time. And 5 children actually turned up. I was there on the pitch, whistle in hand, another ball bag. Let's see who's going to come. 1 came and then ended up with 5. Few years later, today we have 6 age groups and a grassroots program as well, closing to 100 children. So this is where I've come in the last few years. And now this business model has sort of like expanded and grown into such that we have a coaching element, we have a tourism element, and we also have a foundation element. So 2 part brings in income and revenue, and 1 part gives out. So the coaching, the tourism, and the foundation. So through the foundation, we give back to the community that I came from, to the community that made me. I was at a point in life where I had left school, 18 years old. I'm only 24 now. 18 years old, and then 1 year of doing nothing, unemployed, no money to afford higher education, but still loved football. I mean, I wouldn't call it a crossroad because I didn't have an option. Crossroad is when you have options and you choose. This is like lack of options. But still major passion and love for the sport. So I decided, I'm just going to do it. And this community that sort of like accepted me for my football, and I want to give back to the same community. And this is what I've been doing. And right from the start, like when we founded in 2000, I had my first class. Within a week, I started collecting footballs to give back to my people, and they're like, listen, you don't have any money for yourself and you're already thinking of giving back. I said, you know what, this is the mentality that I want to have, and I want to grow with that mentality. So within 4 months, we got an inquiry for a tour to come down. So there we go. Within the first year, we had our coaching set up, we had the tourism set up, and we also had the foundation set up. So since then, we've just grown, and it's just been scaling to, then I got some other jobs doing here and there part-time. But for the last 2 years, I've been concentrating on this full-time. So this is my full-time job. And that's about it for now, I guess.
You share about your experiences.
These 2 days.
On these 2 days, yeah, as I told you, how I started off is like, right from the airport when I met my Sri Lankan delegation, they're all saying, I'm IT technician and software and this, that, and the other. And I'm standing there like, listen, am I at the right conference? So they're like, what do you do? I said, I coach football. And all of a sudden, everybody like, okay, tell us what's going on. As I said, like, I never saw myself as an entrepreneur or a businessman or anything. I'm just a football coach providing a service to children who like to play football. True, it's my income and I'm making money out of it. I'm a liar if I said no. But I'm doing it because like it is what I want to do. Like I'm not doing it thinking of like I'm expanding this business, I'm going to become this big businessman. Or no, that's not the thing. So coming here and all of a sudden I'm just meeting other like-minded people who are doing different businesses, and then there's the whole thing of like strategy, and then there's planning, and then like oh there's this, then there's like someone's talking about scaling. I honestly didn't know what scaling was. Someone was like, what's your plan for scaling? And I pretended like I knew, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of this, but I learned. In the last 2 days, I learned so much about what business is like, from what I thought business was buying and selling, but there's so much more to it. And so I've learned a lot. Bottom line is I've learned so much. Learned from, not only from the lecturers, but I learned a lot from the other people who are here. Like for example, Prema and Priya and Rukman, they all have very unique business models, and these things I've gathered from them. So that I would say a major success for someone like me, especially because I haven't had any formal education when it comes to like how to run a business or nothing. So this is my first education, I would say, in terms of like how to do business management. So for me, I'm very grateful and I've learned so much from it.
Okay, I'm Priya. I have a travel business. It goes by the name of Bucket List Travel Company. We are based out of Kochi, and we customize trips for families and corporates. And I do fixed departures wherein I choose a destination, I market it to groups, to people, and then take a group and lead the group and just go and have fun. So I also specialize in girls-only trips. So I have a trip just scheduled on the 2nd of November where there are 20 females from all across the country traveling to Andaman Islands. So when I was nominated, but I actually had met Usha from the US consulate in Kochi in one of the meetings, and when 3 months back I got a call from her saying that I want to nominate you, I'm like, wow, okay, because I had met entrepreneurs in Kochi. I have a group of female entrepreneurs in Kochi, but this was a whole new ball game altogether, because we are talking about cross-country entrepreneur, meetup. So I was very pumped up when I came here, and I was very happy to meet all these young entrepreneurs. They are like bubbling with energy, and they have all of them have different ideas, and it really gives you a kind of vision. Gives you some kind of motivation, also some inspiration that you can draw from them. There are a lot of synergies that I found I can, because like Rukman has a business where I'm into customized travel and he's into experiential stuff. So I can just take something from him and sprinkle it into my itinerary, and it becomes more, wholesome, the kind of travel experience that I would like to give it to my customers and my people who are getting associated with me. So these 2 days have been full of learning and a lot of fun, and all of us kind of gelled well, and we see a lot of synergies. We plan to be in touch. So if I need something in Sri Lanka, I'm sure that I can get in touch with them and get things done. So we came up with a motto also, which the motto is basically uniting entrepreneurs, breaking boundaries. So exactly that's what has happened here. So we have people from Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, we have from Bangladesh, India. So it's like a big party of entrepreneurs, but it has been a good experience.
Just to, you hit the nail so much on the head. This morning at IIM Bangalore, Professor Sabrinathan, who heads the NSR cell, was saying entrepreneurship is sometimes about serendipity and conversations. Right? When you put people together and they start talking, things happen. Right? To a large extent, we see that happening with this group.
Yes. Yes.
Right, so we've all facilitated,
Yeah.
but then we just sort of stepped
Step
back
back, yeah, and let the magic
let it
happen,
happen
yeah.
organically.
Absolutely.
My name is Rukman. I'm also from Sri Lanka. I'm one of those classic Johnny come latelys to entrepreneurship. I wasted quite a few years of my life doing banking, and then I got bitten by the bug. And once the switch is turned on, you don't really go back. Tried a few things, failed. My first venture was quite a disaster. And then I had a problem that I wanted to solve. I was doing a few large groups for my old business school for their grad trip, and I realized there were a lot of gaps in the travel industry that needed to be filled. So I had this idea of redefining travel by connecting people to sort of not the traditional the guides, but authors and historians and chefs who can give people a more localized experience. So that's how Trecurious, the company that I run, started out as a marketplace. But we quickly realized that, look, why just travelers? Let's aim to deliver great experiences to people no matter what they are. So that's what we do. What we do is design and curate experiences and make it easy for people to find and book them. So we've been in Sri Lanka for 2 years, and the plan was always to test it in our home market and take it overseas. So we've got a fairly ambitious growth plan, and Mumbai is our first market. So I've actually moved to Mumbai. I've been there for 5 months, and we've just raised some money to test this in India. So I was nominated for this program by one of my investors actually, and I seem to be getting involved in a lot of US State Department funded initiatives, because we are in the Reconnect program as well next month. And for me, this was really a validation of why I got into entrepreneurship. People with different ideas, really enthusiastic. And coming back to the point that you made about what Professor Sabri mentioned, the whole community thing, it's always nice to keep talking to people, like-minded people. And for me, the key takeaway from this whole, these 2 days was the network. Everyone here are from countries that I plan to take my business to, so it's just, for me, it was perfect. Like Priya said, I'm definitely going to be working with her, and there's another gentleman who has an interesting travel company that I'm going to speak to. So, it's been great, and thank you so much. It's fantastic.
Hi.
Yes.
So hi, I'm Niyaz from Dhaka, Bangladesh. So I started my entrepreneurial journey 4.5 years back without even knowing that I'm getting into entrepreneurship. Right? I got into business school with an objective to graduating and then getting a good job at an MNC. But we had a group in our business school who loved making videos. Right? We got together. We make satirical videos, we make comedy videos, but always we maintained a sort of quality in those videos, right? So we started making those videos without even knowing what we were doing. We just loved making videos. We went out there and we made videos. And some of those videos, after they got uploaded on YouTube, they got the attraction. They got the attraction of the corporates, and they started, why don't you start making a few videos for us? So we started making a few small videos for them for very little amount of money, let's say 15,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees. We were working from our homes. Then our claim to fame, our break came in February of 2011, right? Being a country in the subcontinent, our country, despite how bad our cricket team is, we are very passionate about cricket team, right? So we made a video after Bangladesh lost to India in the first game, right? At Dhaka, after they lost, we made a video called Bangladesh Cricket Never Stop Believing. So we made that video. It was a message from the people of Bangladesh to the cricket team, and it immediately went viral. But 2 games later, Bangladesh lost to West Indies pretty badly. They were 58 all out, the most humiliating defeat in the history of cricket, right? So after that game, the coach of the team, Ian Pond, somehow got to see that video, and he called me up. Can you do a Bangla version of this video for me? The video was in English, right? So he said, can you do a Bangla version of this for the team? I want to show it to the team before they go out to play in the game against England, because it was a do or die game. So we said, yeah, of course, we made that Bangla version. So the coach showed it to the team before the game. In that game, Bangladesh were in dire straits, right? They get 58 runs of the last 15 overs. That they had only 2 wickets in hand. But somehow, some way, they managed to win with those 2 wickets in hand. And in the press conference after the game, the man of the match of that game, Mahmudullah, he mentioned that video in that press conference, and suddenly it got the attention of the press. Suddenly we were getting interviews, and all that video was entirely labor of love, right? We did not do it for the money, we did not do it for anything. We just made that video, put it up on YouTube, and it had such a great impact. To this day, when we get business, when we are asked to do a video, still people refer to that video, right? So that one big break that we had, now today we have two companies. I run two companies. One is that audiovisual making company. We make TV commercials, we make 3D animations, we make motion graphics EVs. Another company that I have, we focus on developing technology-based marketing solutions. We work with augmented reality, web and mobile applications, gesture-based applications. But to this day, that experience that I had there, the sheer joy of having an impact on so many people, that was tremendous. Over the last 2 days, I've had a great experience. The TIE people and the US consulate, they helped us so much, because I wasn't supposed to be here in the first place, because there were a lot of complications with my visa. My flight was supposed to leave at 10 a.m. but I got my visa at 1:30 p.m. But I was constantly in touch with Usha and Sahara from TI, and they helped me so much, because I just gave up, right? I thought yeah, it's not possible for me. I called her up and said that I didn't get my visa, so I'm not coming here. But it's been a life-changing experience. Just getting to stay in a place like Infosys, just looking at what they have done, you can't just help but dream bigger, you can't just help but dream bigger. So it's been a very inspiring and motivating experience for me, getting to know similar entrepreneurs who have gone through similar experiences, because an entrepreneur at times lives a very lonely life. But when you come to this environment and you see a lot of entrepreneurs who have gone through similar experiences, you sort of get that courage to get that, you get that motivation once more to work even harder and to take your company to the next level. So thank you so much to the US consulate in Chennai and to TIE for organizing this. And I hope that we can continue this, that the bond that we've created over the last 2 days. Thank you so much.
So if you have any further questions, we're here to answer them. Otherwise, we'll begin our formal program.
Thank you.
And you're all invited to the program, and of course the dinner following the program. Just a closing ceremony for
Thank you. Maybe one final closing comment from Mr. KJ Suresh from the Department of Industry.
I'm not disturbing.
No, we're just winding up, but if you can just provide a perspective from the Department of Industries, please. Yeah, please come. Please. So Suresh is the Joint Director from the Department of Industries.
From Industries Department.
Some quick comment on the program, which is winding up. If you can just share your...
First of all, I would like to thank the TIE, the organization which has taken much interest and hosted this particular function. We have supported, that is Government of Karnataka, Industries and Commerce Department has supported this particular event, and few countries among SAARC countries. It is a sort of win-win situation for our youngsters and as well as youngsters from these SAARC countries, and we hope to see that the youngsters from these countries, these SAARC countries would invest at a later stage. That is our intent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Please do join us.
1 second.
Yeah.
Can I request everyone to please have a seat? We can get started with the evening. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. It is indeed a very special evening. It is the closing ceremony of the Southeast Asian Young Entrepreneurship Summit, an endeavor that we've been working hard on for 2-3 months now at least, yeah? But it has been a great experience, and as you can feel, the air is filled with pride, enthusiasm. Eyes are opening wider and wider to accommodate larger dreams. We have the delegates, about 25 of them from the different Southeast Asian countries seated here amongst you all, wearing the black and red t-shirts. Some of them are not wearing the t-shirts, but they're here. So I'm going to request a list of speakers, very, very important, significant people who made this possible, to come and share a few words and share the different perspectives from which this program was born and what could be the future steps. Could I request Ariel Pollock from the US Consulate to please come up? Can we put our hands together and welcome Ariel?
Ooh, can you see me over this? I'm kind of short. Can you see me and hear me okay? Great, thank you. Maybe, can I put this down? Thanks. So, good evening, again. And welcome to those who are joining the SAYS team and delegates for the first time tonight. For those who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Ariel Pollock, and I'm the head of public affairs at the US Consulate General in Chennai. Having just arrived in country and in this position 2 months ago, it feels like 2 years, but it's been 2 months only. I came to the Say Yes party a little late. I didn't have the privilege of working on the planning from the beginning, but I know it took a lot of hard work to pull this together, and even that is an understatement. But I can truly say that over the last 2 days, it's been a treat and an honor to watch this incredible group of young entrepreneurs, mentors, and leaders in the entrepreneurial field come together and create this very special opportunity and this new network. It's a powerful spark that has the potential to play a critical role in creating economic integration throughout the region. It's a future where, as Team Nepal says, South Asia shares, South Asia leads. But as we sit here at the end of an inspiring 2 days, I read that the World Bank has just released its 2014 Ease of Doing Business report. And out of 189 countries, India has been ranked 142, although that does not account for initiatives that have been put in place by the new government. Sri Lanka has been listed at number 99, Nepal at number 108, Maldives at number 116, Bhutan at number 125, and Bangladesh at number 173. And I don't tell you this to dampen your mood. After all, Sri Lanka team told me to be positive and say yes. I see you. And the Pemas from Bhutan told us to say yes because we can. Where are the Pemas? There we are. I tell you this because there's a lot of room to move up, and that means there's a lot of room for you to succeed. So in my opening speech yesterday, it seems like a long time ago, but it was just yesterday morning, I said that you would have opportunities to build your network, expand your business connections across the region, and I said that you would learn best practices from each other and a host of experts and mentors who have stood in your shoes and are proof that you can, as the Bangladesh team said, say yes to your dreams. But the most important thing that I want you to take away is that what you did here in Bangalore over the last 2 days is going to help create entrepreneurial bridges across countries, build collaboration, and promote economic growth, not only just in your own countries, but across this great region. Now, I'm here as a US government representative, and many people who have worked with the government knows that we can be slow and a little bureaucratic. I think probably sometimes our colleagues in the private sector get a little frustrated with us. But sometimes we actually do something and we get it right. And with this Say Yes program, I think we got it right. So what I see as I travel around the world is that when people connect with people, they do best when governments get out of their way, when government facilitates, and then we get out of their way, because you have the potential to accomplish things that government alone can't achieve. And in today's hyper-connected world, individuals are driving change from the ground up. And the network that we built here in Bangalore over the last 2 days will only grow, and you will be the catalyst that will, as Team India said, unite entrepreneurs across South Asia, and break through and break down boundaries to create regional connectivity and economic growth. Yesterday I said that we couldn't have held this summit in a more perfect location than Bangalore, and I still stand by that. You now have an entire ecosystem to call on, and you're actually part of that ecosystem. So while here in Bangalore, you experienced firsthand the vital role that an entrepreneurship ecosystem plays in your success. Elements like entrepreneurial culture that were emphasized in the success stories that you heard not only from the amazing speakers we had, but also in your own stories that you shared with each other. And we also saw that culture at play in the atmosphere of innovation, creativity, and experimentation that we were able to create together during our time here. You learned about the critical element of financial capital in your workshops on fundraising and finance for scaling, and I saw Anjana in the crowd, who is instrumental in giving that lesson. And you also learned about that critical element of financing in your meetings with angel investors. You experienced the support element, I hope, that was woven throughout the summit, from the network of experienced mentors to the work of groups like our co-sponsor TIE. And you saw the human capital element, part of which was on display this morning at IIM. And finally, the policy element, showing the role that governments can play to help foster elements, and that's represented by me and our wonderful colleagues and counterparts in the government of Karnataka. And the U.S. Consulate General initiated this program, and so while governments can't do it all and we don't always succeed, again, we do sometimes get it right. Under the Obama administration, the United States government has actively promoted entrepreneurship around the world to generate prosperity globally by spurring job growth and leveraging innovative solutions to pressing challenges in this new century. Earlier this year, President Obama announced the creation of a group of presidential ambassadors for global entrepreneurship. These 11 individuals, overseen by the U.S. Department of Commerce, are among the best and brightest innovators in the U.S., and they are charged with using their networks and platforms to help stimulate a startup culture both in the U.S. and all around the world. And I'm going to make a second pitch for the Global Entrepreneur Summit that's taking place next month. From November 19th to the 21st, the U.S. will host the 5th Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Marrakesh, Morocco, bringing together more than 3,000 entrepreneurs under the theme Harnessing the Power of Technology for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So we're actually way ahead of the president by having convened this conference. And I do hope that if not this year, next year we'll be able to include all 25 of our Say Yes participants in the Global Entrepreneurship Summit of 2015. For our part at the U.S. Consulate General Chennai, we pledge to build on this momentum in whatever ways we can, sustaining and even growing this network of young entrepreneurs and facilitating the assistance you need to continue your paths forward. So speaking of partners, I want to thank a number of partners without whom this would not have been possible. So I'm going to ask the TIE team to stand up. And I see many of you here, and I don't know where everybody is, probably off still working as this event comes to a close. But I want to thank the Thai president of the Bangalore chapter, Nagnandur Swami. Please stand and allow us to thank you properly for all of your work. I want to thank Madan Padaki. Is Madan here? Yeah. Kunal Kashyap, the executive director. I want to thank awesome and amazing Anjali, and she deserves a really big round of applause. And admin manager Sarah, who we would not be able to survive without, I believe. So I'd also like to thank our sponsors, who are equally important. I want to thank Infosys. Really, the boardroom it was a little intimidating, but just awe-inspiring and amazing, and I couldn't think of a better setting than the one that they provided for us. I'd also like to thank IIM Bangalore, who provided an equally awe-inspiring setting for us today. I want to thank the government of Karnataka, Department of Industries and Commerce. I also want to thank Hotbreads. Jet Airways, and Free Thinkers for just really being amazingly supportive, not only of this program, but of the 25 young entrepreneurships who have benefited from it here today. So thank you all of our great sponsors. And yesterday, as I was thanking everyone in the morning, I neglected to thank probably the most important person to this endeavor, and I'm going to embarrass her and make her stand up right now, Ms. Usha Davalur, who is an amazing member of the U.S. Consulate Chennai's Public Affairs team. This event was her baby, and it was her idea. So she's the lady and the reason why we're all here today, and we just couldn't have done that without you. Thank you. So I'm going to repeat a bit of a quote that I read yesterday from President Obama because I just think it's so beautiful and it really encapsulates how the U.S. feels about entrepreneurship and how we at the U.S. Consulate General Chennai feel about all of you and this great event. President Obama said, "You're the risk takers and you're the dreamers," and that you imagine the world as it ought to be. And not only do you imagine it, but you have the drive and the talent to really build the future that you see. And the U.S. wants to be your partner, and we want you to succeed. So that said, I want to thank you all again for letting me be a part of the summit, a part of your network, and a part of the success story that, believe it or not, is being written at this moment. It's not over, obviously, you're on a journey, but I think that this will be hopefully an important part of the success story that you tell to other young entrepreneurs years down the line when you're standing here in this position. I wish you well, and I look forward to the next chapter. And I leave you with the wise words of Team Nepal: dream big, say yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ariel. That was just an amazing sum up of, she actually weaved in all the different mottos, the different teams from the different countries put together for the SAYES program, and she weaved in a lot of small lessons that we learned over the last 2 days. So it was really encapsulated brilliantly, couldn't have been better. Thank you so much. Could I request the President of Thai Chapter Bangalore, Mr. Naganand Daraswamy, to share?
About 5-6 months ago, Madan came into the Thai board meeting and said, we have a proposal from US Consulate to see if we want to partner with them to run a 2-day event where we can bring entrepreneurs from across all SAARC countries. And we said, what the heck, we have never tried this before. But being an entrepreneur organization, we said we should give this a shot. We were not sure what we were getting into, but now listening to I heard 5 entrepreneurs speak to the press, and listening to what they had to say about this 2 days, I think it was a fantastic effort, and it was all well worth it. And I hope you guys are taking back good memories, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and more importantly, you have, as they say, learn to dream bigger. Only request is, there are a lot of charter members who have come this evening, and I can't stress accomplishment of each of the charter members more. I mean, each of them have accomplished quite a bit in their own entrepreneurial journey. So my strong request to all of you is to drink less, get the charter members to drink more, and network and talk to as many of them as you can, because I'm sure when you talk to each one of them, you will not only learn more, but I think your confidence will also go up. So with that, I hope to see you guys here, and hopefully you'll keep in touch with us and have fun. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Naganand. Could I request Professor Sabrinath from the Indian Institute of Management to share a few words? Dr. Shushil could not make it today. He's missed, but we do have Professor Sabrinath who supported us this morning. We had the whole session this morning at the Indian Institute of Management, and it was a fantastic session. They've been requesting.
Thank you, Anjali, and good evening to all of you. It's a bit of a difficult task for me, trying to fill in for Sushil. He's my director, and apart from being my boss, he also brings a lot more to the institution than I ever will. But and it's what makes it a little more challenging for me is the second time I'm going up on stage on the same day. For someone who tries to hide, it's somewhat arduous. But thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak to all of you. So the reason, so this happened rather quickly, this whole, our involvement as IIMB in this event. And I think obviously it started with Madan reaching out to Sushil. Madan and Sushil go back some time, and so when Madan proposes something, I think Sushil doesn't hesitate, he doesn't think twice. So he just called me and said, Sabri, can you work with Madan on this? And so in less than 48 hours, we had a program. And and I think we had a program largely due to, the clarity of purpose and thought that Madan brought to it. And of course, he has this great execution army in the form of Anjali and her team. So we primarily provided the infrastructure. We also, as NSR cell, run events. We run some 20-25 events in a year. It's something that not many people know about. So, I mean, this is one thing that I want to sort of leave behind for all of you. If you're hanging loose on the first Saturday of any month, don't know what to do, and you want to know, you want to have some taste of entrepreneurship in Bangalore, then come over to our auditorium and you're sure to find a show there. We've been doing that for the last 3 years. The mischief maker behind that is hiding somewhere there, a man called Keshava. So we do things like that, and so we sort of fell neatly into what we do, and we jumped at that idea, and the rest, as they say, is what we had this morning. I'm grateful to Tai, to the US consulate for having given us this opportunity. It's my sincere hope that we can continue to remain engaged with this group, and my sense, I've been personally engaged with early stage entrepreneurship for many, many years, and now as the chair of NSR cell. And my strong hunch is that this is something that's likely to grow into something pretty significant. And we'll be more than happy as IMB and NSR cell to continue to be a part of this initiative. And do feel free to reach out to us if we can be of some contribution. Thanks a lot for listening to me, and have a great evening.
Ratnaprabha, the Chief Additional Secretary, was meant to be with us this evening, but she had to travel. So can I request Mr. KJ Suresh from the Government of Karnataka to kindly say.
Good evening. I am Suresh, working for Industries Department of Government of Karnataka. Friends, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Naganand, Mr. Padki, Kashyap, Madam Anjali, and Madam Ariel for having conducted such a beautiful event for the benefit of youngsters from SAARC countries. Yesterday I was with you. In fact, I hope you have youngsters from SAARC countries, you have enjoyed your stay at Bangalore. You have interacted with youngsters from our state. We have learned, and you have also learned a few things. It's a sort of win-win situation for the youngsters from SAARC countries and for our own youngsters. In fact, yesterday I just forgot to tell one name, great engineer statesman from Karnataka, Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. I hope, Patki, we would have more enlightened on Sir M.V. Anyway, maybe at a later stage we can think of such because yesterday we began this program in a place where it must have induced a sort of entrepreneurship, enterprising element amongst most of you. Similarly, we have a number of examples. I hope TIE Bangalore will conduct more of such events wherein we can showcase our state of Karnataka, our Government of India, and Government of Karnataka is with TIE in all your future activities. And my only request to youngsters from these SAARC countries, think of investing in Karnataka. This is the place for your future activities. Thank you, and I wish a bright future for all youngsters from these SAARC countries. Thank you.
Give you a brief understanding of what the entrepreneurs experienced over the last 2 days. We just are requesting 2 entrepreneurs to come and share their experience. Can I request Pema Chodan to kindly come and share in brief what she experienced?
Good evening, everyone. Kusazangpo, that means hello in my language, Songkha. I am Pema Chodan Tenzin and I'm from Bhutan. I own a small publishing firm in my country. I am the creator and chief editor of Bhutan's first and only women's magazine, and I also publish the in-flight magazine for Bhutan's first private airline. Before I came here, I was very unaware of a lot of business and entrepreneurship terminologies that have been taught during the past 2 days. And it was quite embarrassing and upsetting at the same time, because the kind of things and experiences I've had here with the CAS program, I keep telling myself, if I had something like this that was shown to me 5 years ago, I think I would have been in a far better place. And the country, the RCAC, and work for the government, or just do some family business, or things like that. But well, because of CAS, I think what, not just me, but all my fellow delegates here, what we can take back home is not just the kind of knowledge and information that have been imparted to us, but also the kind of similar experiences, a similar language that we have spoken, a similar feeling that, whether it's problems with business, startup failures, but the similar level of communication. And I've personally been very grateful for that. And for the first time, I feel that I'm not alone. People do get what I do. People do get what it is to fail, but also believe in what you do. And I'll be forever grateful to say yes to Ushaji, Anjali, Ariel, and Sehera for giving us this opportunity to be here. So thank you very much. Kadinche.
Thanks, Pema. Can I request Ahmad, the football coach, to kindly come and share his experience?
Good evening, Kinat Halu, Nasa Sampo, Kusam Sampo, Shagatum, Ayubowan, Wanakam, Assalamu alaikum, and Namaste. The future belongs to the people who believe in the beauty of their dreams, said Eleanor Roosevelt. All of you in front of me today are dreamers. We are all here today because we have an ambition and we have a dream and we want to pursue it. We are a unique bunch of people. We are free thinkers, we are rule breakers, and we are also creating our own paths. Some of us have created our own paths. They established mentors over here. But some of us are still trying to find that path. I'm honored to be representing this group, and I've learned so much from all of you. Every single one of you here, the 25 delegates, have a unique story. Just to share a few, like my friend from Bhutan, who has broken all rules for being a female entrepreneur and started her own glamour magazine. To my friend in Bangladesh, who united an entire nation with a motivational YouTube video. And to my friend from Kolkata, who comes from a carpentry background, who's carrying the weight of his shoulders, he's carrying the weight of his family, their dream, their hopes on his shoulders, and he wants to succeed in life through his carpentry business. And also to my friend from Sri Lanka, who's doing dodgy bar tours, and now he hopes to come to Mumbai. But these are all unique ideas, and some people would not understand this, but I do, because I'm also just like you. And I was nominated by Usha and Anjali to share my story, just to give you a bit of perspective, so then you really understand what I'm coming to say. I'm not an entrepreneur, or up until yesterday, and now I'm an entrepreneur. Because when they ask me who am I said I'm a football coach. That's what I do. I coach football. And in a country crazy about cricket, I decided to sell football. So my organization is named after me, Thabitamot Football Academy, and we are a 3-part academy. Part 1 coaching, part 2 tourism, and part 3 foundation. 2 of this is what brings me money, income. And the 3rd part, foundation, this is what Usha particularly wanted me to talk about, is the element where we give back to the community. To the community that supported me when I didn't have anything. So to tell you a bit more about that, through the foundation, we have scholarship programs to children who cannot afford to play football. And we also conduct coaching clinics. And these scholarship programs, we don't just give money so then they can buy some boots and play on their own. Instead, we invite these underprivileged kids who literally live in shanties under tin roofs to come and play with kids who come for practice in their Jaguars. This is reality. This is happening in our academy. So they play together in one pitch, shoulder to shoulder, same team, teammates, do the warm-up together, play the match together. And the only reason they get to play is based on credit if they practice, not because what car their father drives or what they had to eat or whatever it is. So there's no difference there. And for me personally, and all the Sri Lankans would be able to relate, we just came out of a 30-year war. And why was this war? Because of difference. And for us to overcome this, we have to address this issue. And I believe our generation, we have to address this. And this is what we're trying to do through this foundation program, where we mix people from different races, different skin color, different language, different religion. Doesn't matter who your father is, doesn't matter who your mother is, doesn't matter where you come from. But together on the pitch, we are one team. And if we do not address this, maybe the war is over with guns and bombs and bullets and whatever, but we are still fighting this war through a far more dangerous weapon, discrimination. And this is what we are trying to address through our foundation. If we as a community, as a society, as a country, and as people do not address this, we will not move forward and overcome these differences. Providing education through sport is what we're trying to do. We're trying to influence this next generation of children to think otherwise, to think not in a judging environment and not to be judged. Don't look at people for what their color is or for what their religion is. Instead, value them for their understanding, for their personality, for their skills, and for their strengths. So my message to the future leaders out there, the 25 delegates, and also for the others who want to take this message, I say, stay hungry. Don't slow down. There will be low days, but if you need inspiration, don't look anywhere else. Don't look for other people. Just look at yourself, look where you started. And that will always give you a kickback, and you can go forward. If you have a dream, protect it. If you have an ambition, pursue it. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. I started this speech with a quote regarding dreams, but I'm going to finish off with a quote about opportunity, because I think they both go hand in hand. And I'm going to finish off with a few words from a man named Marshall Mathers, or better known as Eminem. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You got one shot, do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Thank you.
He always manages to steal our hearts after he speaks. But yeah, now quickly we're going to felicitate the 25 entrepreneurs, and I'm going to request one of you all from the audience to come and do the favor for us, requesting Sarah to start with the names of the... Go on top, Sarah. Yeah, could I request Mr. Ramesh Radhakrishnan to please come and hand over the certificate to...
Requesting Ahmed Niaz Murshid to please come up on stage.
I think we can give them a louder...
Yeah.
Mr. Mukul Agarwal, could you please come up? Name of the participants.
Ridwan Hafiz.
Mr. Subir Basak. Mrs. Jayanti Ganapati.
Requesting Pema Lamo. Pema Lamo. Jayanti.
Mr. Vijay Sambamurthy.
Requesting Hemant Salunke.
Mr. Vijay Sambamurthy. Dr. Kishore.
Requesting Jay Prakash Sharma.
Mr. Anil Jain.
Jay Geetan.
Mr. Hariharan Narayan Swami.
Krishna Kishore Kadiyala.
Mr. Jawahar BK.
Nagasundar Jagannathan.
Mr. Swami Manohar.
Priya Ramchandran.
Mr. Satish Venkatachalaya. Okay. Mr. Ravi Krishnappa, please.
Siju Radhakrishnan.
Ms. Anjana Vivek.
Sunoj Philip.
Mr. Arvind Tiwari.
Abdul Hasib Ismail.
Mr. Mohan Rajamani.
Fatimat Numa Rashid.
Mr. Sarabjit Ghosh.
Santosh Pradhan.
Mr. Raju Bhatnagar.
Saroj Karki.
Professor Sabrinath.
Ahalya Rajan.
Mr. KJ Suresh. Is he? Okay. Mr. Naganand.
Chamira Prasad Jayasinghe. Chandika Jayasundara.
Mr. Prahlad.
Nitya Lamaheva.
Mr. Prashant Sakamuri.
Rukman Sivaloganathan.
Mr. Chandar.
Sehan Selvanayagam.
Mr. Madan Mohan.
Sharon Correra.
Margaret. Is Margaret here?
Yes. Thabit Iftikhar Ahmed.
Miss Usha Davalur.
Yasas Abhiyavik Rama.
Okay, now a big round of applause once again. Thank you so much. You guys have been a great audience. Thank you so much. Now for the final word of thanks, I'm going to request the man behind the show, Madan Padaki.
Thank you, Anjali. First of all, delighted to have all of you with us. Just this morning I was chatting up with Kunal and said, guys, if the hall is not going to be full, let's kind of shift to a smaller hall. And he was just telling me that we are still looking for a few more chairs. So really appreciate all of you taking time out to be with us, to be with all of us today. It's been a fantastic journey the last few months. I was just sharing with Usha. Usha called me out of the blue a few months ago saying, hey, I'm calling from US Consulate. And first I thought it was some prank call or something like that, saying we want to do an event on bringing South Asian entrepreneurs together. And what better city to do it than Bangalore? So we want to partner with you, with TiE Bangalore, to make this happen. Interestingly, I think this is the first time that TiE Bangalore ever participated in a US government RFP as well. So as per the process, she came back and said, you know what, we can't just give you the contract, you have to participate in an RFP. And so we did, right? And needless to say, we won the RFP. Right? So thank you so much to the team from US Consulate, Ariel, Usha. You're really the guys who conceived this, who dreamt of this, and we've been proud to partner with you on this wonderful, for the wonderful 2 days that we've had. It's sometimes when you look back, and I was just sharing, I was asking all of our friends from the SOC saying, have you heard of Bollywood? And all hands went up. Shah Rukh Khan, of course, right? And I was saying the thing that when you want something, when you wish for something with all your heart, that the universe transpires to make it happen. So 25 participants, 6 countries, visas to be got on time, flights to be booked, getting them into Bangalore, probably getting them from the Bangalore airport to Infosys is even tougher than getting them from your countries into Bangalore, right? But and then 2 governments coming together. Of course, US Consulate, and when we went and pitched this to the Department of Industries, Government of Karnataka,
Our pitch was, the US consulate Chennai is doing an event in Bangalore, and how can the Karnataka government not be a part of it? Right? So played the regional card, and they said, yes, yes, yes. Our prestige at stake. We should be here. Right? And so they came on board. Of course, as Professor Sabri was sharing, it was just one phone call, conversation we had with IIM Bangalore. I think Naga and I had a wonderful dinner with Professor Sushil Vachani. And when we proposed, he said, absolutely, this is on. We want to foster entrepreneurship, and that's one of the key things that we want to do. And therefore, happy to support in any which way. And Professor Sabri and team put up a fantastic show today at IIM Bangalore by bringing in their incubatees, 12 students of IIM Bangalore. And we did an interesting roundtable where each table had a student, had an entrepreneur from the NSR cell, and two of our SAYS participants, sharing their ideas and thoughts about how they started off. Of course, Infosys was the icing on the cake. I think Usha told me that, sometimes I have helped Mr. Narayan Murthy process his visa, so I know his secretary, Pandu, should I reach out? I said, absolutely. Right? And that's how Infosys came on board. And not only did they offer us that wonderful boardroom, but they said, don't have the guys stay in any hotel in the city. We have a wonderful campus. We're happy to host them there. Right? And that's how the Infosys campus stay, along with the wonderful hospitality that Infosys showers on its guests, happened as well. So you can see, an academic institution, one of India's most respected corporates, 2 governments, 6 countries, 25 participants. Of course, absolutely, right? And we were also very privileged to get Jet Airways to support us in helping us get our participants here. We had Hotbreads who heard about this program and said, what, I'm happy to support any regional cooperation. So they came in and chipped in with some funds. Freethinkers did a fantastic job on getting all of our collaterals in place for this event. So you can see that this event was destined to happen, right? And I think I was just sharing, Professor Sabrinathan said a fantastic thing, that entrepreneurial success is about serendipity and conversations, right? I think we've created a platform for that serendipity and conversations to happen. And I think the magic will just take on from here. So thank you, all of you, for making it. Really appreciate all of our charter members. We should have had a few more we should have had a few more certificates. We missed calling a few people, Ravi. And Ravi did a wonderful evening session at Puma Social. So thank you again to all of you. A special thanks from my side to the army that Ariel was referring to. I think without the support and without the passion and the will to make it happen of Anjali, Sarah, Naveen, I think he must be dozing. He hasn't slept for a few days. Of Naveen and ably supported by Kunal, I don't think we could have pulled off this event. Right? I was at the Thai office and just happened to look at the logistics sheet of which car is coming in when, which flight has to take off when, and I was telling Sarah that, what, don't scare me with this. Right? So great show, guys, and thank you very much. Wow. On the day of the event. So thank you very much for making all of this happen. As Nagananda said, there's a wealth of expertise, experience that is in this room. I must also thank our friends from Indo-American Chamber of Commerce who made it here. We made a beginning, tried to get the partnership with them going. I'm sure this is just the beginning. We will do many more things together. So thank you very much. The bar is open. Drink less, get the charter members to drink more, and you'll see cash jingling. You can also go back with a few checks back for your ventures. So thank you once again. Have a great evening. Thank you.
delegates to kindly assemble near the stage for a group photo. And I request all the seniors delegates.
Wait.